Okay, no, obviously that computer wasn't anywhere near that bad, and special effects kind of were. You know, I just thought that would be fun. Little time's passed since I started this video. A few things have changed. For one thing, it's now March, and my little calendar's gone from Captain America to Black Widow to now Rocket Raccoon, but you know, life happens. And you see here in just a moment, this beard is new, a few other things of course. So that old computer that we got from just Sam's Club off the shelf is for my wife and kids now, and I've got my new setup. Here's a little bit of video of the parts and putting it together, sort of, and some of the stuff that I'll be using. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so I've got most of the stuff sent here to my office for my new computer. I'm going to show you here just some of the boxes, how it's laid out. We'll go over the parts specifically later, but other than the desk and the chair, which I sent to my house because I don't want to move it twice, this other stuff I didn't want left on the porch. So let's take a quick look at the boxes. Got my Ryzen 7 in there. I'll go over this later, but just really quick. The boxes in my office. Let's see, the monitors and a bunch of stuff in there, my case, some other stuff, a few things in the bag in those boxes back there. So I'm really excited to get going on this build. So I've been working pretty hard for the last few nights, staying up late clearing out boxes from stuff that we brought when I first moved in, and it's tiring, but one of the things that I've been thinking about as I'm going through this, I'm seeing all of these memories from my church mission, from college and from high school, and seeing so many good memories, so many things that it's hard to sometimes remember the good things and you focus on the bad, and there's so many people who touch your life and don't always do the best job at keeping in touch with them. It's so amazing to think about all those people and how much they have meant to me and how much they still do. Even thinking about my, goodness gracious, 20-year high school reunion next year. In some ways I'm feeling old, and in some ways I'm feeling lifted up, and it's an interesting mix of emotions. So just want to capture this just before I'm done with the cleanup, so I can start the setup to continue the process of moving forward in a very unknown and unimaginable to me direction of my life. I sincerely hope that I've been able to touch the lives of people, you know, and maybe not as many that have touched my life, but I really hope that I have touched the lives of people, and that I continue to, maybe, and I definitely hope to in the future. I have no idea what I'm doing, do I? Not completely true, but life is unknown, and I've never been great at change or the unknown, so it's an interesting challenge. Here's my desk. Well, an internet picture of the same type of desk. I kind of misplaced / lost / bye-bye to my pictures that I took before I got everything on the desk. So here's a nice clean shot from the internet. It's a Hillsdale L-shaped executive desk by Red Barrel Studio, for those of you who care. So this chair is an AK Racing Nitro gaming chair with the blue, of course, my favorite color. Well, no, lots of blues I like, but blue it is. So while I'm going over the office setup, let me show you some of my decorations.
So as you can see, I have my Spider-Man bobblehead. I've got my TARDIS Yahtzee game. I have my Star Trek The Next Generation 7th Anniversary Special Edition Starship Enterprise, which lights up and makes sounds when it's got batteries in it. And of course, I've got my Marvel Avengers calendar that my wife gave me for Christmas. I am, in fact, a geek. Okay, so for the computer itself, I used the Be Quiet Dark Base 900. Nice, big, roomy case. Motherboard, Asus Crosshair 6 Hero with the Wi-Fi AC. Thank you very much. So that I can connect to the internet, since my router is upstairs and I am downstairs with this computer office area. For the CPU, I went with the AMD Ryzen 7 1800X. I went with the Ryzen 7 instead of an Intel, mostly because of the video editing and how the multiple cores are going to help hopefully keep things running smooth while I'm working on that. RAM. So I have 4 sticks of 16 gigabyte Corsair Vengeance DDR4 memory. So I have a nice beefy 64 gigs of RAM. Should keep things running nice and smooth for a while. My Windows setup is on my SSD, which is a Samsung 960 Pro M.2 NVMe. I've got 512 gigabytes of memory on that. Should be enough, obviously, for Windows, and hopefully whatever else little things the programs need to put on my C drive. But everything else is going to be on my D drive. It's a Toshiba X300 6 terabyte with a 7200 RPM hard drive. Plenty of space. Okay, and then my water cooler. I've got the Corsair H110i to keep my CPU nice and cool, or cooler, as these things get warm. My power supply, EVGA Supernova 850. Okay, and speaking of power, got a CyberPower 850 watt PFC sine wave UPS series for my battery backup. Don't want this thing crashing in the middle of some project, especially if it's something that I'm hoping to get paid for. Also, I just don't want to lose any of my computer parts. And now for the part you're all waiting for. Yep, that's right. I did add a Blu-ray burner. Okay, maybe that's not what you're waiting for. But I do want to say that I added the Blu-ray burner for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, that I can watch a DVD or a Blu-ray if I want with the right program on the computer. But also, if I need to use that to transfer some information to a client or, whatever the case may be, I want to have that option. I know discs aren't used a whole lot anymore, but it's nice to have, just in case, and on those rare occasions when I do need a disc. External hard drive. So I've got a WD Easy Store. It's got 8 terabytes of memory, and it connects with a USB 3.0, so good speeds transferring, and also plenty of storage to back up my computer, back up the videos and different things that I'm working on. Can't be too careful with that, right? Graphics card. So this might be what you were waiting to hear, or not if you care, I don't know. So for the graphics card, I went with the Asus GeForce GTX 1080 Ti. It's a ROG Strix gaming GPU. Yeah, so I went with the 1080 Ti. Wanted to make sure everything was nice and smooth on my editing, and also for my, honestly, I want some self-care time and some time to play some games and play with my friends, play with my wife, etc. For my monitors, I have 2 LG 27-inch ultra high-definition 4K monitors. Now, normally I wouldn't have gone with that because I really don't have the need for 4K right now, but it was on sale for a good price. It gives me plenty of real estate for video editing, for having a couple things going. 2 monitors is nice for things like streaming and I honestly have been spoiled at work, and the workflow of having two screens so that I can look back and forth at different things while I'm working is just wonderful. So I do have some flash drives. This one of them, if you can kind of see, maybe see, one of them actually can connect to a cell phone as well, which is kind of nice. Don't know how much I'll use that, but it'll be nice to be able to transfer that. I did add an internal USB hub. It's a NZXT 5-port USB 2.0 expansion hub. I don't know whether or not I'm going to keep it or not. The reason I added it in the first place is because I've got the 2.0 USB plugs on the case. Also the connection for my water cooler. I don't know how well it's working, and I've had to turn off the notification sound for plugging in or disconnecting devices, because I think it's that. I think it's the internal port. I've seen things on the internet say that those ports can be a little troublesome when it comes to thinking it's being connected or disconnected, or however that works. For my keyboard, I've got a Corsair Vengeance K70 with a Cherry MX red switches. Mouse, I've got a Razer Death Adder Elite gaming mouse. That's a nice little mouse, actually. Yeah, I really like it. Nothing too much to say about that, though. So, what did I put this all together with? I went with the iFixit Pro Tech Toolkit. I've had this for a while now. It was actually a gift about a year ago, I think, for my wife. And she gave it to me because it's an awesome little tech toolkit, and I was planning on doing computer building stuff. And it's really nice to have the right parts for putting together, electronic stuff. I've used it a couple of times now. Okay, so let's get on to some of the video production side rather than just the computer now. So I've got a webcam set up here. It's the Logitech C922 Pro Stream. I've got a little privacy cover on it. It's nice because I can do 60 FPS with the 720p, or I can even do the 1080p at 30 frames per second. For my microphone, I've got the Midnight Blue Yeti. It's really been a nice microphone for me. Got one at work. My boss actually got for the video production at work. And of course I have a little pop filter on it just in case I tend to spit. Or if I do vocal percussion. I've got something to block off that air. For headphones, I've got the HyperX Cloud 2 Pro gaming headset. It's really been a nice little headset for me. My wife gave me a green screen for Christmas. Yay! Being able to edit out other things, stick my head where it may or may not belong on video. I got a DSLR camera. It's a Canon EOS Rebel. It's the SL2. And this is supposed to be a really nice camera for making videos, also for photos as well, of course, but should be really good. And this Rode VideoMic Pro Plus microphone, that'll allow me to get some good sound. And I really wanted something like that microphone in particular, for things away from my desk, depending on, of course, what I'm trying to capture. In addition to the microphone itself, which can go on the camera, I've got a microphone stand and a 25-foot cable, so I can connect it to the camera, have a little bit different spot so I can capture the sound I need and the shot I need. Obviously, sight and sound is kind of important when you're making videos. First attempt at power. Here's my setup and layout. I've got my chair with the desk. Computer running nice and smooth. A couple of 4K monitors going. And speakers. There's my webcam and cover. And of course some geekery with my microphone next to it. Or geekery next to my microphone, whatever. If I'm going to stream a game or share a video from a game, I need to be able to play the game in the first place, and for me that's where Steam comes in. Most of the games that I have are on the Steam platform. A lot of things I want to play and try. Easy way to pick up some games now and then as well. So for me, most of the games I'll be playing will be on Steam. OBS is free software that you can use to stream, or I can use to screen capture so I can show kind of what's going on my screen. Snipping tool is a good program for just getting some quick screenshots. Handbrake gives me the ability to change one video type into another. So if it's a different file type or the frame rate isn't consistent, stuff like that, I can use Handbrake to help me out. Audacity is good for capturing audio and voiceovers, that sort of thing. I've been using it a lot with my phone video recording because then I can get a little bit better sound through the computer and through Audacity. When I have my video shot, my images taken, and my sound recorded, I'm going to use HitFilm Pro to put it all together. I've really enjoyed using this program so far and really excited to learn how to use it even more effectively.
Thanks for watching. Part of the reason I made this video is to chronicle what I've been going through for this. Another part is because I know sometimes people ask, well, what computer parts do you use and what setup and stuff. So this is kind of a kill three birds with one stone. Maybe it will help if I ever needed shirts on my computers. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.